No, it really stays.
Okay, not to get ahead of myself, but I think this theme is gonna be our best one yet. Welcome back to Everything on the Table, my monthly themed dinner party series where I take you along the whole hosting process, the planning, the decorating, the cooking, and of course, the actual hosting. Now, July is actually my favorite month of the year to host. For me, the hierarchy goes July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. And I think that comes down to the fact that I love to be outside and I love to grill. The dinner party I hosted last July is actually my favorite I've ever done. It was a Western themed backyard barbecue. So we did like big bone-in pork chops, a trio of salsas, cornbread, lots of tomatoes, lots of peppers, and a peach cobbler for dessert. And out of the over 24 dinner parties I've hosted, it still remains my number one. So this month I really want to top it. And I still want to do a backyard barbecue, but I want to go for a very different vibe. So we are going for a seafood and fish forward menu with this month's theme, the high seas. So what does that mean? I'm thinking navy, I'm thinking stripes, I'm thinking white, I'm thinking lots of rope detailings, wood detailing. You see where I'm going here? Oh, and lanterns, you know, like nice. Actually, let me just show you. I'm already getting ahead of myself here. Like big white lanterns, and these, which I'm gonna hang from a tree. I don't know, something about this type of lotting feels a little more boaty to me. I think aesthetically, it's gonna be really good. And as much as I'm excited about the decor, I think the menu is gonna be even better. This is such a different profile of flavors than what I usually do, and I think it's gonna be so tasty. So the first thing I knew immediately is if you're doing a seafood grilling party, you gotta grill some whole fish, which is great because it's something that seems kind of elevated and fancy, but it is so easy to do. I've already tested the recipe. Delish. And everyone's gonna get their own whole grilled fish, and then we'll have a juicy melon and ginger cucumber salad on the side, some crispy basil rice, and I'm also gonna grill up some zucchinis in this really delicious green sauce. But frankly, I think the appetizers are even more exciting. I'm gonna do head-on grilled shrimp covered in this miso marinade, some snapper ceviche with sun golds and corn, blistered shishito peppers that I'll toss in a tangerine and Thai chili mignonette. And then for the drinks, we're gonna do some salted mixed citrus margaritas, and also some different varieties of iced tea for a non-alcoholic option. You know, like a nice iced jasmine or mint tea. I think that will be lovely. I feel like after you serve a bunch of seafood, you don't really want a baked good like a cake or a pie. You want to end on a fresher, lighter note. So I'm gonna make some homemade cantaloupe sorbet and a sheep's milk a sheep's milk, yogurt, and honey ice cream. I feel like melon and something creamy goes really nice together, so I think that would be a really great note to end the meal on. And yeah, frankly, I just have so many fun beachy serveware that I forgot I owned, so I think we just gotta stop chatting and get right to the decor, because I got so many DIYs to do today and so many fun things to show you, so let's go. Now, before we get into the tablescape and some DIYs, I wanted to tell you about the fragrance I will be wearing for this dinner party and frankly, for the rest of summer, because part of the reason why I started doing this whole monthly themed dinner party thing is because I love to just embrace and lean into a season fully. And yes, that has to do with cooking and hosting and decor, but it also has to do with fragrance. I love to change up my scent as the seasons go on, which is why I'm so excited to be working with Fern. I just got my delivery in of Fern Summer 26. They are a natural perfume maker, and every single season they release a new scent. Honestly, you've probably seen them on Instagram because every time they launch a new scent, they release the most beautifully shot, artistic, cinematic collection of photos and videos. Every single cool girl I follow on Instagram follows this brand. And what's great about their system is when you get a fragrance, you also receive a sampling kit. That way you can try out the fragrance at home and make sure you love it before deciding to keep the entire bottle. Summer 26 is citrusy and floral. The top note is clementine, the heart note is rose, and the base note is bergamot, basil, and black currant bud. It is such a beautiful expression of floral. It's bright, it's romantic, and honestly, it just smells really pretty. They also make the whole unboxing experience so special with these beautiful gifts they call artifacts. The artwork gives you a taste of the imagery and the world they build around the fragrance. And we also have a diffusion stone and some seasonal tea. So if you're like me and you love leaning in and romanticizing every season, you will love what Fern does. Because these are made in small batches and they're from natural ingredients, there is a wait list for this scent. I have an exclusive link, it's down below, so you can click it, skip the wait list, and check out Summer 26. Also, coincidentally, I'm using a ton of citrus on this menu, which means the fragrance is not only perfect for the season, but also also specifically for this dinner. I'm gonna go brew myself a cup of this Fern summer tea, and then we can start diving into all the decorations in the tablescape for this party. Okay, so the plan for today is we're going to start figuring out the tablescape and the decor. I don't want to DIY too many things, but I do want to do a couple. I'm thinking of doing some shell candles. I don't know, we need to venture into the depths of my basement and just my different hosting cupboards and see what we can pull out. People usually want to see where I store all my hosting supplies, and frankly, like, there's not one good concrete place to show you. It's kind of sporadic throughout the home, but I don't want to show you the scary basement because it's old and scary. Like, this is just a random storage room with plates, but this is what we're here for. This is hen spongeware. I found this at an antique market, and initially the guy only had a few pieces out, and when he saw how interested I was in it, he said, oh, if you like that kind of stuff, my wife has tons of it. So basically I went to his house and I bought everything they had. My plan is to use it more as serveware as opposed to everyone's dinner plates or appetizer plates, just because the blue speckle I think can be a lot. We're gonna bring all this up. I also have this random bag of shells that I brought home from a trip. Those need to be cleaned outside with the hose, but let's start bringing everything up. Initially, when I think high seas, I'm thinking sailor, I'm thinking nautical, crisp white, navy blue, right? Not even necessarily navy blue, but also just, you know, a true cool toned blue. The plan was wooden charger, speckled blue plate, maybe play around with the blue stripes napkin. Then I rediscovered I have these plates, which something about the edge to me gives off, I don't know, a beachy shell vibe, which is kind of perfect because I also have these nautical shell coasters and these little beachy bowls, which I think would be perfect for holding the ceviche. But all of these pieces very much lean into more of a greeny blue territory, which I think clashes with true blue navy. I just really kind of have to commit to a direction, but I think I'm leaning towards this one. I don't know, I'm so conflicted though, because I do really like these types of blue. This is a little more on the nose. I know I'm gonna do a practice run at the table and see what actually looks better, but I found some other fishy things. My gurgle pot, a little fish plate, various shells that I brought back from a vacation. I think I want to turn these into tea lights. Clams that I kept from when I ate clams once. No idea what I would do with these. Like, I don't want to just scatter them on the table because I don't like having excess little things all over the table because it gets in the way of the food, but I feel like I need to do something with them. I also have these little macrame fish that I completely forgot about. I bought these when I was on a trip with my mom to Croatia, and they've just been sitting in a drawer, so gotta do something with those. I also have a few really good glassware options. We have these, which I'll probably use for the wine, but it has a bubble base to it. Something about the hammered glass feels quite aquatic to me, so maybe we'll use these for the welcome cocktails. And I think instead of napkin rings, I want to tie off the napkins with some rope because I think rope is a really easy way to reinforce that, you know, nautical high seas theme. I also borrowed some lanterns from my mom because that also feels very sailor nautical. But yeah, again, I'm not 100% sure which of the two directions I want to go into. I think I am leaning more towards the greeny blues as opposed to the true blue, but let's see what looks best. It's a beautiful day out, so I think we should do these DIYs outside. Okay, so here's the plan. I have all these shells that I collected on a beach vacation one year, and I've seen online that you can turn shells into tea lights. We have our tea lights, right? We're gonna just pull it out of the metal bit. Gonna cut the wax, so we just have the little metal bit in the wick. And then I could not find my hot glue gun anywhere. Literally anywhere. I know I own one because I own all the sticks. I'm just gonna use my kitchen torch, I think, to help melt some of the glue. Is this a fire hazard? Oh my gosh, okay. Then we'll just dab some of the glue and then secure the wick. Okay, and then we're just gonna do this over and over again for a bunch of the shells. Melt, melt, melt. This one little bit doesn't want to melt. Come on. Okay, so now we have the challenge of figuring out how we're gonna put up all these hanging, I don't know, they kind of look like lanterns to me, but I found them on a pretty crazy clearance and I've been wanting to have lanterns in the backyard for a while. I really have no idea where we're gonna mount these or how we're gonna mount these. I do have 6 of them, so it's like a good chunk. Yeah, I think.
They're waterproof.
They better be waterproof.
Here's what I'm thinking. Because we have power outlets here, we can run the extension cable up the trellis to this existing like hanging basket, run the wire up here, and we got to go to Home Depot and purchase the standing stakes that go in the ground for flower baskets. Ram that in there so we have one line, and then up the hill toward where you are, we'll stake another one, and then you run it back toward the house. And I'll fashion some sort of hook, I guess, up here. So essentially it'll wrap around the perimeter of the table.
If we have enough light.
If we have enough light, because if we don't have enough lights, then we're kind of chalked anyway, aren't we? Trapped like that?
Yeah.
It looks like the Pixar animation.
Yeah, it does.
I went inside, we leaped it over the top corner of the window and then cranked it closed, and it's probably wedged closed forever now.
Okay, it's much later now. I'm just going over my plan for tomorrow because dinner party eve and dinner party day, there's always a lot going on, and shockingly, well, not shockingly, but I feel pretty prepared this time, so I thought I'd show you my Notion document. Okay, so I find Notion really helpful for dinner parties. So in this column, I just have all the different recipes or drinks that I'm going to be making, and I actually like to write out the recipe like embedded in, and then I can just click open, and then here it has the recipe, and that just stops me from having to flip through a million different things. And then I also have when I'm planning on making it. It's definitely just a loose guideline that I frankly probably won't stick to, but I found especially with just keeping all the recipes in one place, I mean, I usually develop most of the recipes for the dinner parties, but sometimes it'd be like, okay, I'm flipping through this notebook where I physically wrote it, and then this Google Doc, and then, oh, well, now I have to reach for a recipe book. Like, I just used to have to flip through so many different resources or notes that I've made, and it just made it so messy. So I found that being able to embed all that stuff in Notion really helpful. I need to like up my Notion game. Like, there's some of the Notion girlies, you guys are crazy, and I admire you. I admire you so much. Unfortunately for me, I've yet again planned a menu where a lot of the heavy lifting has to be done on dinner party day. Classic. But honestly, I'm feeling pretty good. I think everything's gonna be fine, and I'll see you tomorrow. Time to do the daily tomato check. I was really hoping that I'd have some ready for the ceviche. They're not gonna be ripe for a couple of weeks, but they're doing pretty good. My hope is that by the August dinner party, we might get to pick some and use some. And no aesthetic coffee montage this morning because Aaron had to go out and get some ice because it is too hot for anything but iced coffee right now. So we're just gonna get right on to cooking. Okay, good morning. It is High Seas dinner party eve, our grilled seafood extravaganza of sorts. Aaron's out doing a coffee run, so just you and me right now. We're gonna get started on dessert, which is going to be 2 different types of ice cream. And I say 2 different types of ice cream, but technically neither is ice cream. One is going to be a Cantaloupe Jasmine sorbet, and the other a sheep's milk and wildflower honey frozen yogurt. I think they're both gonna be delicious, and I've actually never made sorbet before, or frozen yogurt. Like, I'm always a custard-based ice cream kind of gal, so we're mixing it up this time. I also just got my knives sharpened at the farmer's market, and I haven't properly cooked yet, so I'm very excited to get chopping. Okay, first things first, we're actually gonna make the jasmine syrup because we want that to have some time to cool down before we incorporate it into the sorbet. So, sugar and syrups are really just one of the best ways to add some type of more unique, interesting flavor to, I guess, cocktails or sweets of sorts, ice cream, because you can just infuse whatever flavor it is into the syrup. So we're gonna combine equal parts sugar and water, and then we'll steep in some jasmine tea leaves. Okay, well, I just realized something really silly. So for these ice creams, I'm following a recipe from this like gelato book that's been highly recommended to me by so many people. And what's great about this book is that she gives the weight requirements for everything, right? Because weight is, I don't know, like weight's kind of how you got to do things, except the melon sorbet, where she just calls for 1 small ripe melon. 1 small ripe melon, like how? I feel like this is standard. Like, I've seen melons be like small. That's so silly. Why does it say that? That just makes like kind of the entire recipe, you're winging it. Well, we're still gonna make it, but my confidence is now dwindling because I'm trying to make a double batch. I don't feel like this is the size of 2 small melons, but like, what is small? Because I've seen like sugar kiss melons, and those are like itty bitty. Is that what a small melon is considered? I feel like a small melon would be 2/3 of this. Man. Okay, apparently the average small melon weighs 2 pounds, and my melon weighs 6. So, okay, 1 melon is more than enough. Again, this sorbet, I guess, is kind of, oh, I forgot to strain my jasmine. One sec. Basically, the sorbet is gonna kind of be an experiment. Okay, please hold, because we don't want the jasmine syrup to get bitter, so I let it steep for just over 5 minutes. Oh, very full. On the verge of overflowing. Nice. That's gonna chill while we prep our melon. All that to say, we're just gonna use the whole cantaloupe. I'm making a double batch, and we're just gonna hope for the best. If the texture's off, I feel totally fine to completely blame the recipe. Okay, another thing about this recipe is it says not to even bother taking the seeds out, but then it says like cut off the peel, cut into chunks, and blend with your other stuff. But then you're gonna be blending the seeds. And my knowledge of seeds is that it would make it go bitter. That could be wrong. Maybe it's totally fine, but I don't wanna risk it. Usually when I follow a recipe though, like I do really follow the recipe. I'm just a little suspicious here. I love this thing. Vitamix is one of those things that's just, it's worth it. It's so worth it.
How is it? Judging by your eyes.
That's a really good melon. I feel like a lot of times cantaloupe kind of sucks. This is really good. Might have to do this in 2 batches. Now we need to get the juice out of 3 lemons.
What's the benefit of rolling?
I feel like you've asked me this before.
Well, I have a short-term memory.
It just helps that the juice come out easier. Okay, so I got my lemon juice and this is the jasmine syrup that's now cooled. I'm just gonna combine them together just so we have one less dish to be worrying about. And then we gotta do this in 2 batches. So it's literally just cantaloupe and then the lemon juice and the syrup. Add like half. And then I also have just some reserved straight up cantaloupe juice that I just kind of like pressed that whole, I don't know, like the seeds and the insides. I just pressed this juice out of that. Guess I really didn't need to add that in. Like that doesn't need to be blended. So. Okay, that might have been like a little too powerful of a setting. It's fine, let's just... Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I'll have to do it in 2 batches. Okay, so, I don't know, it's not sorbeting. See what I mean? Like it's not solidifying into a sorbet. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of granita it. So I'll put it in the freezer every 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna check on it and kind of stir it, whisk it around. And then we'll kind of have, if the sheep's milk yogurt one turns out well, then we'll have kind of our nicer scoops of the sheep's milk yogurt ice cream and then kind of have this on top and around the side. And I think that's okay that it'll be a different texture. It tastes great, but it's just not freezing. Like the recipe was not correct and I knew it wasn't correct. This is why I always, well, first of all, use my own recipes. And if I'm not using my own recipe, I always test it first, but I just didn't have time. Look at that, it's literally liquid. There we go, okay. Okay, now we're moving on to our sheep's milk and honey ice cream. Apparently, sheep's milk has a higher, I think it was protein content than cow's milk, which is why it recommended using sheep's milk for ice cream. So I found this at my local farmer's market and we're just gonna squeeze out any excess water. Oh no, it's squeezing out. Oh no.
Isn't it supposed to?
Well, kinda. I kind of forgot how a cheesecloth works. I'm just trying to get some of the excess liquid out. So you don't want to squeeze too hard. Just gonna plop her in there. This is not gonna be satisfying. Don't look at this. Don't.
Zooming in.
Don't. This was not a smart way to do it. Don't. Just get thick yogurt. That's all you need to know. Okay, so we're gonna add in our sheep's milk yogurt, 2 tablespoons of honey, and then some heavy cream that I dissolved some sugar in. And then this is just gonna chill in the fridge until it's nice and cool, and then we'll churn it later tonight. Ice cream and sorbets are doing their thing. Now, I've owned this, it's technically a cake mold, for quite a while, and I really want to make little mini compound butters in the shape of all these different shells and seahorse and all that. What I'm thinking is I have like seaweed crisps, so I think I'm gonna pulverize them and then turn it into a compound butter. And I think it'll be like a really nice salty seaweed infused butter to eat on like toast and then with the grilled miso shrimp. I think it's gonna be good. Aaron doesn't seem convinced, but
I'm skeptical.
It's butter. It's butter and seaweed. It's gonna be good.
It's not the butter, it's the seaweed.
Wait, you love this though. Anyways, we're going to add it to this. It's not working. It's not blending. Hey, I thought it was gonna like powder really easily. Maybe I need less. Okay, maybe we gotta do it in batches. Let's see. We're experimenting here. This is just a vision in my head. we go. Ideally, I would have like proper nori wraps that haven't been fried and oily the way these are. So that's my only concern, is how that's gonna react with the butter. But no, I think it'll be fine. Ta-da!
What about the ones that aren't filled out?
I didn't have enough butter.
Okay.
I'm not perfect. This is when you say,
I think you're perfect.
thank you. These are gonna go in the fridge to firm up, but eventually you'll have to pop them in the freezer for a few hours. I just don't have the freezer real estate right now. So, fridge for now. Okay, butter is chilling. Now we're gonna prep one of my favorite dinner party appetizers of all time, blistered shishito peppers. Now we will be throwing these on the grill tomorrow, but we can prep the vinaigrette and the toasted sesame seeds that we're gonna be tossing them in. And shishito peppers themselves really aren't that spicy, but they're just a really nice kind of one-biter finger appetizer food. No, I think it's a really nice opening nibble for a dinner party. So we're gonna be tossing it in a Thai chili and tangerine mignonette. Sounds really fancy, but it's really just tangerine juice, some chopped shallots, Thai chili, apple cider vinegar, salt, and then we're also going to toast some sesame seeds, because when these are blistered, they get fairly soft, so it's really nice to have the crunch of the toasted sesame seeds with it. Make quite a bit of mignonette. We might have extra, but you can keep it in the fridge for a few days. So we're doing half a cup of tangerine juice, half a cup of apple cider vinegar, half a cup of shallots, and 2 Thai chilies. And tangerine juice is quite sweet, so you may need to add a little more apple cider vinegar along with the salt, but this is a good starting point, and then just, you know, season to taste. But literally all we're gonna do is we're gonna just keep this in the fridge, and then tomorrow we're gonna toss those shishito peppers in a little avocado oil, throw them on the grill. When they get off the grill, toss in some of this, top with the toasted sesame seeds. Easy and delicious. Okay, so now we have pretty much all the components of the salad prep. We have the cut cantaloupe, the fresh ginger vinaigrette, picked cilantro, picked mint. The only things I'm not prepping today are the smashed cucumbers and portioning out the pickled ginger, just because if you break open the cucumber too early, it kind of just loses too much water and the texture is not as good. So I'll do that tomorrow, and I'll add the pickled ginger tomorrow, and then it's just a matter of tossing together. But things like this always take longer than you think they will, so it's nice to get all the components prepped, and then you can just toss right before serving. Now we're gonna get these in the fridge, and then we're gonna move on to our miso marinated shrimp. Oh, and actually something to note that I wanted to tell you is this salad uses pickled ginger as a topping, which is like really nice and crunchy. It's kind of sour, like not really spicy, but you know, it's got a little bit of a something to it. Not all pickled ginger is created the same. When I first tested out this recipe, I got this just because it was the only one the store had. It's called Pickled Ginger Organic. This one sucks. It's just like really sweet and it's not crunchy. It's like kind of limp and not great. My favorite is just like solid sushi pickled ginger. It has a lot more of a bite to it. It's just crunchier, it's sliced thinner, and the liquid that we use in the vinaigrette is much less sweet. It's a little more, still sweet, but it's not straight sugar. sugar juice, you know? So look for this one, or just any like proper sushi ginger. Okay, my friend Rachel's almost here. Her and her husband are coming to dinner tomorrow, and she's very talented at sewing and embroidering, so I asked her if she'd be open to helping me out with a very special little place card holder. Hello, how are you? Stop, they're so fun. Wait, do I put it over my bun? Wait, where's this pages? Oh my god! No, it kind of suits you. Sure! Okay, so now we're gonna prepare our shrimp for grilling. We're gonna do a miso marinated shrimp. I just got these whole head-on shrimp because frankly, it just looks nice and dramatic. I really like when are they called whiskers? You know. These like long bits are still on them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the heads on, we're gonna leave the tails on, but we are just gonna remove the outer shell. That way we can coat them in the marinade. They'll look nice and dramatic, but they'll also be pretty easy to eat. You'll just snap off the head, pull off the tail. It'll be like kind of messy, but in a good way. Okay, so we have our shrimp. So turn it upside down and then just dig your thumbs under just to remove this middle bit of the shell. Sometimes it comes off in one piece, sometimes it comes off in two. There we go. All right, so now the head's still on, the tail's still on, but we gotta remove the digestive tract. So toothpick in around here. The poop. Rinse off the shrimp. Get her on ice. And now we just need to do that a couple dozen more times. Dig your thumbs into the belly. Carefully peel off the shell. And you'll see it like separates from the head pretty easily. Like the head doesn't actually want to come off. What I've learned in the past 5 minutes is it's actually better to take the poop track out starting at the tail. You see how you can see kind of like a dark line down the center there? So just kind of like stab under it and gently lift up and then just pull, 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 pull. Careful. Look at that. Perfect. Okay, shrimp are finally peeled and deveined. They're in the fridge. Now I'm gonna make the marinade. I won't actually marinate them until tomorrow because the recipe I'm following says max 12 hours, but I'm still gonna prep the marinade, so tomorrow I'm just gonna pour it in the Ziploc bag, shake it, and then it's ready to grill. We're doing a miso marinade. So starting off, generous amount of miso paste. Okay, so we're putting in white miso, vinegar, Dijon mustard, mirin, and garlic. Then blend until smooth. This obviously won't blend. So I think what we need to do, unfortunately, is we're just gonna have to mostly mix it by hand, and then I'll blend in the garlic to half of it.
Whoa.
I don't know. This is what happens late in the day on dinner party eve. We need to clean the house still, so marinade done. Maybe I'll talk to you again tonight. Maybe I won't.
They should see how I'm
TBD. This fish plate. I love it. I'm gonna empty this, do a couple dishes, and I'll see you when I don't look like this for some cooking. You can plan for rain and like see that in the forecast, but you know what you can't plan for? My city being among the worst air quality in the world today. Just we got a wind or something, and yeah, worst air quality in the world. You step outside, it smells terrible. It's crazy hazy, like it looks like the apocalypse out there, I don't have a contingency plan. Like, I have to grill everything. So even if I move the table inside, I'm still gonna be out there for like 2 hours at the barbecue, inhaling the fumes from the barbecue and now the fumes from the air. So
change the menu to smoked fish.
I'm gonna be grilling regardless. I'll sacrifice my lungs. And we're just going to play it by ear. I was like looking it up and it says maybe the winds could make it less intense. I'll just like kind of check the air quality index closer to dinner party time, and if needed, we'll move inside. But when I looked at the weather forecast a week ago, I was like, this is perfect. The whole week is gonna be beautiful and sunny. You don't have to worry about anything.
It's not ideal.
No, it's not. It's really not ideal. Okay, so we're gonna prep one of the sides for dinner, which is this spicy green marinated zucchini. I'm actually making a double batch of this marinade because it's that delicious. It's gonna be used to marinate the zucchini, but I also want to have a lot of extra so that you can dip in more marinade if you want, and also to like spoon onto the fish. I think that will be nice. So starting off with a ton of cilantro, an egregious amount, frankly. Then we're adding in some fresh ginger, some garlic, jalapeno, fish sauce, rice wine vinegar, and a little honey. Zucchini do you think everyone will eat? I don't think everyone will eat a whole one. Initially, I was gonna go like this. You know when I cut it like that? More in chunks. But that's kind of the shape of the salad, like the melon cucumber salad. So I feel like we should do it lengthwise so it's distinct. So it's not like too much of the same shape. We're gonna try and unmold the butter, and I'm gonna see if this goes well or if it goes bad as a sign from the universe on how the rest of the day is gonna go. I feel like it's not gonna work.
No pressure.
No pressure. I'm scared. I'm gonna try first just with the knife, and then I feel like I'm gonna have to maybe blow towards the other side to melt it and pop them out. Like it should. Ha! Ha ha!
We're going to be okay.
Okay, wait. Knock on wood. I don't know. Yeah. Is this gonna be a sign that the weather is gonna improve? That it won't be literally an apocalypse outside? Yay! Okay, so just got back from doing the last minute errands. Here's our little food haul. We have a fresh loaf of bread. We have basil for the crispy rice, 2 containers of tomatoes, some more limes. I was so excited to find this. I found fresh local corn. I did not expect to find it. I thought it was gonna be kind of a gamble, but I was kind of counting on like one place having it, and they did have it. So we got that, some more QP mayonnaise. And then for the exciting part, our fish delivery. Not delivery, I picked it up. One hiccup is they gave me the snapper frozen, and I'm using this for the ceviche. So we're gonna have to thaw it in some water, but still in the fridge. I'll figure it out. It'll be thawed by dinner in a safe way. And then we have our star of the show, our 8 Branzinos. Now I didn't ask the guy to open them up to like check every single one. I know that makes me feel nervous, so let's give them a peek. I'm sure they'll be great. Oh, they're really bloody. Why are they so bloody? They're pretty big. This is way bigger than the one I got last week. I practiced this last week, and they only had ones that were literally under a pound, and I was like, okay, that would be great per person. But that's a lot of fish for everyone to have one of these. That's a lot of fish. I'm gonna rinse these off, pat them dry, and then we're gonna stuff them with lemongrass, fennel, fronds, and lemon, and they'll be ready in the fridge to grill. Grilled fish is actually a lot easier to do than you think. It seems a little intimidating, but go to your fishmonger, ask for the fish to be scaled and gutted. Now we're just gonna stuff it with some aromatics. So here I have some fennel fronds, some fresh lemongrass, and lemon. We're just gonna fill the cavity with it, tie it shut, and then a little later today, we'll do a thin coating of mayonnaise all over the fish. You know how when you do a really good grilled cheese, they say to put mayonnaise on the outside of the bread because it makes for a nice crust, which helps to give a really nice sear, and I find it helps it stick less intensely. Not less intensely, less prone to sticking on the grill. So fill it, tie it, slather it with mayo, salt, pepper, grill it on each side for, I think it's around 5, 6, 7 minutes, depends on the size of the fish, but until the inside reaches 135. Okay, well, we're coming not to the realization, but having to face the fact that we can't do dinner outside, which is really upsetting, but that means we need to do dinner in this room, which is completely furnished. So it's time to pick up everything, move it out, find a new place, set the dining table, maybe find a way to fit the lanterns in here. We gotta get going though. Let's start moving some furniture. Some time has passed now. There was just a lot to do. So anyways, we're back at it. I'm currently prepping for the ceviche appetizer. So this is just some snapper that I picked up from the fish market. I'm just cutting it into pretty small pieces. I don't know, that just feels right to me. And then we're gonna toss that with some cherry tomatoes, some charred corn that Erin did, and a little, I guess you'd call it a vinaigrette that has grated tomato, ginger, red wine vinegar, lime juice, a little fish sauce, maybe something else. I don't really remember. Tangerine juice. Anyways, it's gonna be very tasty. And then that'll all get mixed up and then we'll serve it with some little corn chips. So that's the plan for this. All right, and here's everything pretty much prepped and ready to go. We still need to make the margaritas and prep a little something for the crispy rice, but I think this is officially the start of crunch time. Yeah. Did I do it? Need sugar. Make sure that doesn't overflow. Yeah, we'll talk about this more. Hey!
She's so quick.
Okay.
The socializer. My favorite.
Yes! so good.
Get your shot, bro.
Two, one, fish.
Well, actually, they do have it.
And then you walk in and they had this insane band. Like the band was like,
Okay, as always, the battery's about to die. That is a wrap on this month's High Seas themed dinner party. If you know me, you know we leave the kitchen fully reset, all the dishes done, everything is hand washed, dining room is empty, pretty much everything is put away. We'll reset the furniture tomorrow, but if you're still here watching, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment, and if you want any of the recipes, they're linked in my Substack, and I'll see you back here next month to go over everything on the table. Bye.